Russia's deadly wildfires, the smog-filled cities and poor harvest are being seen by some environmentalists as signs of climate change. Let's now cross live to London to discuss this with Piers Corbyn. He's an astrophysicist and also founder of Weather Action. Good to have you. Thanks very much indeed for joining us live there in London. So what we're seeing here is a drastic change in climate, aren't we?
Well, climate has always been changing, but this has nothing to do with man. In fact, we predicted that there would be extreme heat in East Europe and Russia this summer, and it's caused by a certain circulation pattern. CO2 does not cause circulation patterns. What causes those is a combination of solar activity and the state of the phases of the moon.
But hang on, Piers, excuse me, just a minute. You say this isn't caused by man. How come they're reporting this heat wave is recognised as the worst in 1,000 years of recorded history in Russia? And surely man has got something to do with this, hasn't he?
No, nothing to do with it. The only connection is man is here at the same time as the sun and the moon are doing things. You see, a very similar situation happened about 132 years ago, where there was the same sun, earth, lunar, magnetic states. There was heat waves in Russia, and there were also floods in Pakistan as now. And in the previous few years, there was also floods in the English summers, also 132 years ago. So these things are dictated by solar activity in the moon. They're nothing to do with mankind, and those who say that are just trying to make money out of carbon.
But are we not going to see this? Are we not going to see this again next year, the year on? I mean, it's only it's quite recent that
that's a very interesting question. These things do come in bursts, and we're working on that very question, those forecasts. We did say there would be a series of wet summers in England, for example, which we've had. Now, will there be a series of these very hot summers in Russia? We don't know. We have to work on that. But I assure you, it's nothing to do with carbon dioxide. And if you stop driving around Moscow, it won't affect next summer one jot.
Well, how come then so many climate change scientists disagree with you and they get so much support for what they say?
They're on a gravy train, for heaven's sake. There's trillions of pounds traded every year on carbon trading and doing silly things like building windmills which will achieve nothing. I mean, there's money in it, and that has corrupted science.
But also, I'm sitting here in Moscow, and I think the longer I spend outside, I'm going to get carbon monoxide poisoning. That's a result of all the cars. That's a result of all the cars.
Well, wait a minute. No. The carbon monoxide is coming from the peat being improperly burnt. But you see, set against this warmth, you had a very cold winter in Russia, coldest for a very long time, and right now we've got record low temperatures in the southern hemisphere, which the world state media are avoiding reporting. The average temperatures of the world are actually declining. The significant thing about the world now is not the heat in the north, although it's very significant for you, or the cold in the south so much. It's the contrast. We've got massive contrast around the world, and these are controlled by solar, lunar effects.
But a lot of people, though, Piers, just quickly, and Russia has an interest in the Arctic, of course. The Arctic is opening up. That's surely because of reduction in temperatures, and that's going to be perhaps exploited for
well, of course, look,
resources.
Temperatures change, but they're not caused by CO2. Actually, ice is starting to increase again in the Arctic, and it has been increasing for a long time in the Antarctic. Again, it's nothing to do with CO2. Those who say that have no evidence for it. There's only evidence against.
Can I quickly ask you
a gravy train?
Okay, can I quickly ask you before we finish, does a very hot summer necessarily lead to a very cold winter? Can we expect a very harsh winter here in Russia?
Well, we don't know. We're working on that. They often do come in pairs like that. That is true, but not all the time, and then there are going to be changes in patterns. So again, we have to forecast that using our long-range process of using sun, solar magnetic and lunar effects, and we can predict things many months ahead, and we have been very successful in doing so.
Piers Corbyn, as always, it's always very interesting to hear what you have to say. Thanks very much for joining us here live on RT there in London, founder of Weather Action.